Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab, and you're watching Star News Live. Here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. State health officials said today that a new COVID-19 variant has been found in Hawaii. The State Laboratories Division confirmed the presence of the P2 variant of the coronavirus infection. The new variant was identified through surveillance testing on Oahu and was found in one individual. The infected person recently traveled to the mainland and is now in isolation. Health officials are closely watching the new strain of the disease after two people in Brazil who had been previously infected with COVID became reinfected with the P2 variant. State Health Director Dr. Elizabeth Char says the new variant serves as a reminder that the public needs to remain vigilant, even though Hawaii's COVID counts are falling. Hawaii counted 2 new coronavirus-related deaths and 44 additional infections today as vaccinations continue to be administered throughout the islands. The latest deaths were on Oahu and Maui and bring the state's COVID-related death toll to 437. Today's new infection cases include 25 on Oahu, 15 on Maui, 1 each on the Big Island and Kauai, and 2 Hawaii residents diagnosed outside of the state. The number of active COVID infections in Hawaii fell by 21 today to a total of 613. There were 34 patients with the virus in Hawaii hospitals as of Thursday, with 5 in intensive care units and 5 on ventilators. The State Department of Health says that more than 325,000 vaccine doses have been administered in Hawaii so far. More than 7% of Hawaii's population has been fully vaccinated, while 14% has received at least 1 dose. A 23-year-old suspect charged in Tuesday's fatal stabbing of a Hawaii Kai man made his initial appearance at district court today. Jake Edwards appeared before Judge Clarence Picaro via video conference from the courthouse cell block. Edwards is charged with a second-degree murder charge in the death of Parker J. Trantham. His bail is set at $1 million. Trantham, who was also 23, was stabbed to death in broad daylight at the intersection of Hahaione Street and Hawaii Kai Drive on Tuesday morning. Police conducted a massive manhunt in East Oahu and captured Edwards less than 3 hours later on a nearby Hawaii Kai Street. The victim's father said the two men were close friends in childhood but had a falling out and had grown apart. The Hawaii Department of Education says public school graduation ceremonies can be held this spring, but under strict pandemic restrictions. The safety guidelines include limits on the number of guests and no physical contact during the celebration. Education officials said the ceremonies must be held outdoors or in a location with sufficient ventilation. Graduates may bring no more than 2 members of their household and no other guests will be allowed. School Superintendent Christina Kishimoto said some schools may not be able to coordinate in-person ceremonies due to class size, limited resources, or virus transmission concerns. Finally today, state agriculture inspectors are trying to locate a large iguana that was spotted in Waimanalo Thursday afternoon. A Waimanalo resident reported the animal to the Department of Agriculture after he almost ran it over in Waimanalo. He said the animal is about 2 feet long from nose to tail, and it scurried away from him when he tried to get a closer look. It is illegal to import, possess, or transport iguanas in Hawaii, but the reptiles are established in Waimanalo and have also been seen in Kahuku, Waianae, and Nanakuli. They can grow up to 6 feet long and can use their powerful tails as weapons to fend off enemies. Agricultural officials do not recommend touching or trying to capture iguanas. Anyone who sees an iguana should report it to the department's pest hotline at 643-7378 or turn it in under the state's amnesty program. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.